Hey everybody, welcome back to Gardening with ADHD. Sorry for not getting the blog post up yesterday, had some technical difficulties, but pretty happy with the progress this week. I actually had a week off from the day job and I was able to spend a lot of time out in the garden getting some things upgraded, making some changes. And generally just seeing some good progress with the garden. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's take a look and see what's been happening in the garden this week. So we'll start over here with the green bed. As you are probably aware, this was the first garden bed that I put in. Overall, not a lot of change. I keep wondering if anything is happening, like with this pepper plant here in the back corner. It doesn't seem like it's grown much since we planted it. This tomato plant seems like it's growing. No flowers yet. But then that tomato plant there in the back, that was actually one of the first tomato plants we put in. It's got some flowers, so, hopefully we'll see something soon. The beans have really gone nuts this week. They basically weren't doing anything, and then suddenly, you see what we've got here. They all kind of sprouted up pretty quickly, one after another. We've still got a couple of more that are hiding in there, but we'll see what happens. Carrots still look like carrots. I'm not sure what's happening with this. This is our cucumber. In this bed and also in the other bed that we put the cucumber in, it doesn't seem like it's changed size much, so I don't know, just something to keep an eye on. Because I had the week off from work, we added some new plants. This was originally the parsley, which wasn't coming up, so Kim wanted to do something else. So we actually put in some spearmint. She's a big fan of mint. We'll see what we do with that. But then you can actually see we've got the parsley coming up anyways, so that was kind of a happy surprise. She was kind of worried that, oh, do we need to do something else? I'm like, no, they're weeds. They'll fill in just fine. We also added a lavender plant. Replanted some sunflowers, in that pot. Let's see, that's our basil coming up. Let's see, we're over on the first orange bed. I should point out, this is actually an idea from my cousin. We put the bird bath in the yard, I guess it was about a week ago, and she mentioned that in her garden, she ended up seeing a lot of bees that would drown, and so she suggested getting one of these clay pot lids and putting marbles or rocks or something in it. We had these glass beads sitting around, and she said to do that so that bees have a place to land and get a drink but still be able to fly away without falling in the water. So we've taken to calling them bee baths because we're nerds, but there you go. We've got our green peas, which got a couple of them that are looking a little worse for wear. I'm not quite sure what happened to them because we've got the netting up, so I don't think any birds have gotten into them. The pepper plant, again, is looking a little small, but it's alive, so I'm not complaining. I should probably prune those at some point, but we'll see. The cantaloupe is actually starting to come in. You can see that little green spot right there. That's our cantaloupe plant. Still waiting for it to come up. We'll see. These are more of the beans that I was talking about. Again, you know, you can see one of them just starting to sprout right there. But they're getting big, getting some nice big leaves. More cucumber that doesn't look like it's doing anything. I don't know. We'll see. And of course we've got carrots. We've actually got some onion that's coming up, so kind of excited for that. All right, in these long boxes we've actually replaced, one of them was strawberries. I'll get to that in a second. But it's been replaced with forget-me-nots. We've also added a couple other pollinator attractors, one of which is milkweed. I remember growing up I would always see monarch butterflies, and so I found out that apparently they only, the caterpillars will only eat milkweed, so we're gonna try and grow some of that and bring some monarch butterflies in. So we'll see what happens. Just noticed this. This is the other salsa tomato plant. Again, got some flowers on it, looking really good. We eat a lot of tomatoes, so that'll be really helpful. The broccoli, which I wish I could throw away, but apparently everyone else in my family really likes it, so it's staying. Zucchini's looking good. We've got more beans. Again, they look really good and they're popping right up. So hopefully we can take the bird netting off relatively soon and not have to worry too much. But then allow those beans to go in and climb up the trellis in the back. All right, so then we're gonna come over here. This is the biggest addition I'd put in last week. This is a new bed just for strawberries. Having a little bit of strawberries, all of these right here along the front, these were the first plants that we had. Some of the leaves are looking a little rough. I don't know if it's disease or maybe they were getting too much water, not enough water. We're kind of experimenting, but it looks like they're getting some new growth in. Like we've got some right here that looks, you know, nice, green and healthy. You know, same over here. But basically, you know, unfortunately, strawberry plants are kind of a weed. So I didn't really want to put them in with the other garden beds, and so at this point I figured it would be good to just put a nice little spot just for them, and you know, they can grow and do whatever they want. Turns out we've got 3 different types of strawberries, so we'll see what happens, and obviously, you know, you'll see when I see. I finally put something over here in this bed. This is the roughest of the 3 mini beds, but I decided to put watermelon in here. Again, melons are big, take up a lot of room, need a lot of space. So I just figured put a watermelon in here and kind of let it do its own thing. So, you know, just waiting for that to sprout. I just planted that last week. And then over here, we've got our 3 Sisters garden. Last week, I went ahead and I put the melon seeds in. They are, I put a couple of seeds in each corner. As they start to sprout, I'll thin them back to just being 1 plant per corner. And then obviously, you can see the corn is actually coming up really well. For some reason, that guy right there, those 2 are actually doing the best. Not sure why they've taken off better than the others, but everything does seem to be coming along. in almost all the cases, except for it looks like along the center line, I put 2 seeds in each spot, and it looks like, you know, all of them have sprouted except for along that center line where only 1 sprouted. I also planted these a little bit more dense. The normal square foot gardening recommendation is 4 per square, but these, because I'm kind of experimenting with it, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, I'll survive. Also, in Arizona, we get a lot of corn anyways, so I'm not too worried about it. But I planted some extra. We'll see what happens. I'm waiting for them to get to about 6 inches or more in height, and then I'll go ahead and I'll add the beans to this planter as well. So, anyways, so that's what I've got for this week. The garden is really coming along. I'm actually really happy with it. Sorry for the extreme close-up there. But we've also, you know, taken the time to actually kind of clean up the backyard. I put up a shade sail that covers up the patio and actually makes it where we can, you know, sit outside. The weather's great right now, so we've actually eaten, played some board games out on the patio. It was great. The next thing is we're going to add some more lighting around the yard, so it's a bit more hospitable, a little bit easier to see, like at dusk and whatnot. Oh, one last thing I did want to point out about our bird bath. We did finally find and add our gnome, which is right there. Let's see if we can get you a shot in the front. Anyways, so we've got a gnome and a gnome rock in our bird bath, which I think is awesome. Anyways, so thanks for coming to see the progress on the garden. At this point, I've been up all night, so I need to go to bed. But thanks for watching, and I will have another video later this week. Whoa, that's horrible lighting. I will have another video later this week going into a bit more of a deep dive on how I built my garden beds and what I filled them with. So look forward to that, and don't forget, put a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't, and talk to you next time. Thanks. Bye.